Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Spar and Brawl. I hope you're having a decent day. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Sam, or as some people like to call him, Mr. Controversial. And we're back with a
Wait,
midweek
what?
episode of new
Whoa.
tweets.
Forget about the episode. Has people been calling me that in the shit?
Perhaps.
That true?
No, I'm joking. They
Perhaps.
haven't actually written that, but I think that goes well with some of the comments we've been receiving.
I feel like you're just trying to cause, like, is this for channel growth, subscriber growth?
If it helps, if it helps to that
controversial
end,
host?
why not?
Well, ends don't justify the means.
No, the means don't justify the end.
No, man. What? No, the ends don't
Okay, the
justify.
end is for the channel to grow, right? And the means would be to behave controversially.
Yes.
So the means don't
So
just.
the end, even if the end is good,
True,
the means.
true.
Well, you for many years you've been watching
No.
movies and just you've had them like
No.
you had the parable completely opposite. Like
Just in this context, I confuse. Hold on. No, but the end.
So even if your end is good, you shouldn't like kill people to achieve it. That's the point.
Yeah, fine.
So I don't. So how have you been watching movies? I'm interested.
I got confused in
like
this
example. The hero
okay.
is such a douchebag. He's not willing to kill for his goals. Like you've been just mixing up.
No, I blame it on this particular context. That example just threw me off.
So, because making me controversial is not that like evil or something.
I don't know what the reason is, but I was really convinced for a good 30 seconds. But okay, as I was saying, these are new tweets. So this is a midweek edition. They're not from our podcast episode from last week. But okay, Sam, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Please like and subscribe. So I brought a few tweets for us, Sam. I think you're going to like the first one. You're a big fan of her, no? Yeah.
Yeah, huge fan. I mean...
So Susan,
huge. No, she's genuine. She was in Atlantic City, but anyway, go.
Anyway, this tweet of her is great. The most important election of our lifetime again, and I'm guessing, of course, she's being sarcastic and ironic. So she wrote this. I think the whole thing is a joke. Of course, nobody wrote this, but someone had tweeted a photo saying, "Dear potential voter, first of all, how dare you?" Who the fuck do you think you are? The sheer audacity, you fucking imbecile. You realize what you're causing to happen. Grow up and put on your big boy pants. You absolute dullard.
I learned that during Trump era. I think it means a stupid, like a stupid person.
Interesting. Yeah. Grow up
like lazy, stupid. Sorry. I see.
That makes sense. I bet you're shitting in your diaper right now, diaper baby. Do you think everything is magically handed to you on a silver platter? Why am I even asking? Of course you do. You fucking degenerate. Do you not understand the monumental importance of accepting my position? No, I won't explain. You're not worthy of my emotional labor, and I bet your pea-sized brain could even become a necessity. We look forward to earning your vote this November. Sincerely, Democrats. Of course, I'm pretty sure it's a joke, but
no, that's a joke.
It's so funny when it keeps on going halfway through. Why am I even asking? Of course you do. You fucking degenerate.
No, I love the part that I want to explain. No, you're not worth my emotional pain. Yeah, but that is. To be. They are much nicer when they do it. In reality, they're like, come on, But that's how it feels.
But at the end, it comes down to this. At the end, it comes down to, okay, vote for us. The other ones are much worse. So end of the story. Let's stop wasting. Like they say that, but once it reaches the last 3 weeks, that's all you hear. Better of the two evils and all that, and then let's get.
And I would say that it's not just US, just to broaden our horizons a little bit, because that's living in Iran, as you know, that's the reformists, the so-called reformists, who I used to not like we used to regard them as the sort of the better evil or whatever, but now I genuinely. Yeah, lesser of two evils. Like, exactly what they wanted. For a while, it works. For a very short while, it worked. But now I regard them as far worse and just far more just terrible, just terrible. But yeah, that's been their whole, like, since I remember, they've been doing the same. Labour in the UK, sort of similar situation, although a bit better, I would say, than US and Iran. But it's just so shitty. It's just all they say is that, look at them, look how bad they are. We know how bad they are. Thank you for that. Like, what is there? But would it change anything if you go there, or are you gonna act like them, or are you gonna act like them?
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean,
So,
this next US election, can they just like skip them and just tell us the results? We'll just take it there, because I'm really not looking for what is this November one or the presidential ones in 2 years. Presidential one.
Look, it's really funny, because as somebody who's not a US citizen or anything, I do like, because of the Iran issue, US election surprisingly does have a somewhat, like, I'm interested to see what happens if there's a Democratic administration and a Republican House, and so on. Because then the Congress can, as they sometimes do, they pass their own you know what I mean? Like, there's all that. So in that, but yeah, I know what you mean though. Like, reality, in most things, who cares? What I hope happens. So
you think with this specific element of foreign policy being, like, vis-a-vis Iran, you think that makes a difference, whether it's a Democrat or Republican?
Yeah, not in a fundamental sense. Don't get me wrong, not in a fundamental sense, but in a pacing sense. Where if it's Democrats do what I just coined this term. Democrats do a Ukraine strategy, which they come at you by your like borders, and they just go, you want to fight? Come on. We don't want to fight. Republicans, they just they just murder like your like diplomats abroad suddenly, just for no reason. So it's not fundamentally any different, but I guess pacing wise and intensity wise is slightly different. Maybe, but I take it back. It's not different. I take it. Yeah, but it would be fun.
I was gonna say, like, fine, Trump broke the deal, but previously Obama had made a deal, but still some of the sanctions were there. Yeah,
by discouraging the banking and all that. But I mean, it's just fun to see. I mean, I don't know what. Are they going to genuinely then start blaming Republicans for blocking them again? Possibly. Are they going to go back to that strategy, do you think? Because if they go back to that strategy, anyways. Well, I would love it if they bypass trying to court the left or Bernie Sanders voters, whoever. Just, you don't need them. You've pivoted half successfully to sort of becoming the party of the upper middle class, the managerial class and all that, and kind of like, so I mean, not fully successfully obviously, but
no, I mean pretty success. I mean, that's their base. I guess they successful. Still, I mean, I guess of course they still look for more lefty people to vote for them, but
I mean, I just hope it feels very, because they hate the Bernie voters. Bernie voters hate them. So what
should the Bernie voters do? I feel like this is turning into Brianna and Chris Hedges interview, right? That's exactly
Bernie voter at this one. She can't do anything. I mean, it sounds so boring and I hate it as well, but it's just organizing at a local level. Sounds stupid and boring and probably ineffective. But.
Oh, I mean, different levels of, it depends what you consider effective and to what extent and all that. But
attend school meetings. I don't know. Like, at this point we are there. Try to save your child from like psychopaths. I don't know.
But this was a funny tweet anyway.
It was great.
Going back to, and even her own quote, the most important election of our lifetime again. That is true.
How many lifetimes?
All right, moving on to Glenn. Man, this is like so infuriating. So I've also clicked and read the article a bit. So Wimbledon continues to threaten to ban the world's number 2 male tennis player, Danny Medvedev of Russia, and the world's number 6 female player, Sabalenka of Belarus, unless they sign an anti-Putin form. All while Western elites say Putin kills all dissidents. And then Glenn also wrote, in an alternate world, Wimbledon threatens to ban all American and British players from participating in the tournament unless they sign a form condemning the country's leader for arming and funding the Saudis' destruction of Yemen. Yeah, so the way that, I mean, we've talked about this a few times, but just the way that they've gone after athletes and, you know, non-political people has really been disgusting, if you ask me. So yeah, apparently like the tennis players, it's not enough for them to say that they're not gonna like wave a Russian flag and all this, but they have to come beyond that. And
they even said that
apparently they're not allowed to have flags. Yeah.
What the fuck, man? I mean, look, I'm one of those people who's unknowingly into politics and says everything is politics and, you know, everything should be, but can't leave the, like, it's sports, and I'm becoming a goddamn liberal now. Like, just leave the sports and movies and Oscars alone. Leave it alone, you fuckers. Like, everything has become Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
Look at this. Look at this. And while 3 main tennis tours have settled for requiring Russian individuals to continue playing without flags or anthems, it seems increasingly likely that Wimbledon will go further. So they've already banned like the anthem and the flag, and then, you know, but, you know, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm very anti-flag in general. I just hate flags, but I mean,
me too.
That's for a different place, different context.
I like flags.
You like flags? No, man. It's just mindless patriotism, I find, if you ask me, in any context, flags. But
no, I hate mindless patriotism. I like flags. They look cool, and, you know, they look like a British flag. Union Jack looks awesome. Iranian flag looks pretty cool. Italian flag is nice, but national anthems are pretty stupid. Like, I never national, because first of all, they usually suck. The God save the great, or Iranian. What was it? I forget the Iranian. I don't know. But all of them are so stupid. And then, like robots, everybody get up as if suddenly somebody activated them, thing that we have to, like 5-year-olds in a kindergarten.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I really like anthems.
But flags, especially Union Jack, is really cool.
Anyway, like putting aside. Putting aside the design of the flags, just like the idea of flags in general, no matter what their design is. I mean, they really pissed me off. And in a way, I guess, I mean, maybe I'm not the only one who sees it this way, because going after banning the flags, although they're coming from the opposite side, it kind of means that what? So flags are kind of representative of what? Like a particular part of like society. So just like war and all this, like, you know, I mean, if you're saying, because if you're telling them to ban, no, not me, I'm saying them, the people who are going after, you know, banning the flag, I guess they see it this way, because why can't the flag represent, you know, Russian culture and cuisine and cousins and streets?
It does. I thought it, I mean, generally,
apparently not.
Like, not that it doesn't represent its politics or whatever, but I do think mostly, and it's Russia, it's, I mean, I'm sorry, but it's a real country. It's not some bullshit nation born 20 years ago out of because the French foreign minister at the time wanted some lands within Middle East. You know, it's a real, I mean, it's ridiculous. This level of offensiveness is just too much. I mean, not that I'm not Russian, and I don't want to get too like high and mighty. Like, I hope if it was making fun of Russians, I would be all up for it. But this is just xenophobia, it feels. And
yeah, and
if they do the same for everybody. Just say, as soon as you enter Wimbledon, sign a thing that you don't approve of your government's politics. Fair enough. But just for Russians, what about the? Yeah, exactly. But
and I guess right before this Ukraine war, everything was okay, I guess, right? Yeah, exactly. So other countries and other tennis players have nothing to hide from their nation. Everything is good.
During in Iraq war, Afghanistan just finished. Did they ever ban any? Not that they should have. They shouldn't have. yeah, it's so weird. It's too weird. I feel at this. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Anyway,
yeah,
this
I
guy though,
wouldn't
my dad
mind.
tells
Yeah.
me the Medvedev guy, Medved, for he's apparently really, really good. I mean, he's number 2 in the world, so I assume.
But you also think it's good, okay?
My dad also confirmed.
Man, that was such a like a schoolyard thing. It's like no.
Yeah.
My dad told me that Michael Jordan is a very good basketball player.
Bruce Lee would beat Muhammad Ali in any.
All right, thank you for that.
Sorry about that. I don't know. I just
We're getting some real inside information here, okay?
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, your
Giving you
dad
the,
knows
you know,
that he was raised playing with his left hand, but he switched to his right and he's keeping his left hand for a special trick at the Wimbledon. Your dad told you.
Actually, you just told me that, but yes.
But
that.
but yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on.
But
This,
but
unless you have something
what
to
is
say.
fascinating to me, I think this news and the interview blended with that tennis player guy who didn't go to Australia or something. I think Glenn is really into tennis. Like, you know, if you want to grab Glenn's attention, like do something tennis related.
Tweet a picture of us playing tennis.
Yeah, with like a Putin sign.
Jeez. All right, let's move on to this next tweet. So Ali Abunimah tweeted who is going to tell her, and this was in response to Elena Bunina, CEO HR director within the Russian division of Yandex, resigns and leaves for Israel. Quote, I will not return. I cannot work in a country that wages war against its neighbors. She's true though, like, because Palestinians are not technically their neighbors. They're like in a way all under the same country. So.
They're second-hand citizens.
Yeah,
second rates.
Yeah. So the next time Israel maybe attacks Syria or threatens Iran, she's gonna pack her bags and leave.
You mean last week when they bombed Syria? But, yeah, I mean it's so fun. Like it's just too good. So I love it if there is actually like she doesn't know. And so guys, this is gonna be hard to break to her, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
By the way, good fucking like finding a country that doesn't do that. Like every country, maybe not their neighbors, but as soon as they find an opportunity to wage a war against anyone for like profit and like they do it, including all those nice European ones who just hide the money of the dictators in their banks. Just in case. But so this good luck with finding these moral governments. Screw the fuck up.
I guess she could go to Australia. Oh no, they still have New Zealand as a neighbor. Yeah, all countries have a neighbor. I'm trying to find her a country that doesn't have a neighbor.
Australia. It's not. You can't get away with that. It's a technicality. If you wage like.
No, but if there's water, it doesn't count. She should go to Japan. I think it's separated by water from every country.
Again, man, this is not like a text. You can't get off like that. Okay? You can't wage a war. Okay, I'm just gonna wage a war against the country next to my neighbor.
No, listen, I'm just trying to be fair, okay? She didn't say I cannot work in a country that wages war, period. She said against its neighbor. So it just depends on how you define neighbor also.
She's just a really good neighbor. She's just a really fantastic neighbor. I'm not really against violence or, anything. I just treat your neighbor right. That's all right. Okay.
Love thy neighbor. I mean, it's a good start.
Madagascar. Madagascar doesn't have neighbors, does it? It's an island.
Yeah, you're right. There you go.
UK?
No, because UK, yes. England, no.
Northern Ireland, no. no,
Yeah,
UK,
true,
no.
because Northern Ireland is UK. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why
Yeah.
I am actually for giving up Northern. Like, even though I'm fully like pro-British, I just give up Northern Ireland and those orange weirdos. Anyway, uh, yeah, they okay. Yeah, she's got to live in a probably an island.
Yeah.
Australia, by the way, New Zealand isn't a neighbor of Australia. You do know that, right?
Oh,
They don't have land.
oh, really? Or they separate by body of water? Wow, my bad.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I
It's
got
like
confused for a
Australia
second.
is like anyway, okay. Oh my
Never
God,
mind,
man.
never mind, my
Okay,
bad.
I think we should cut this. This undermines our whole channel's credibility. Like it's like it's a whole
Shit,
different
I
island.
don't. Yeah, sorry.
There is more distance between Australia and New Zealand than like between Iran and Germany, I think. Like
So, yeah, that would make sense. So, yeah, okay. And I mean, now that I pulled it up, there are quite a few countries. I mean, you could go to Indonesia, you could go to Philippines, you can go to
doesn't
Japan, Papua New Guinea, maybe not. But yeah, Madagascar, you were right. Okay, so she has some options.
there is some islands in Caribbean with very good banking, I hear.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah. So no, she's got okay. I'm sorry. I thought when she went, I cannot work in a country that wages war against its neighbors. I thought she meant the violence and the killing. She meant the neighbor thing. Okay, all right.
But yeah, okay. I mean, moving on from my amazing geography knowledge. Okay, Sam, here I want to tap into your knowledge a bit. I mean, I thought we were going to talk about this perhaps on Friday, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing
I'm
you've been
preparing
reading
something.
about it. Yeah, okay, nice. So maybe you can already share a few words or say what it's about. So Pakistan's prime minister committed the sin of criticizing the war on terror and the countless Pakistanis that were killed, and plus refused to sanction cut off Russia. So Uncle Sam said he has to go. By the way, Richard Medhars, he's a journalist. Yeah, he's a journalist.
Yeah.
And in context, had tweeted Imran Khan has survived a move to oust him as Pakistan's prime minister, claiming that the US-led conspiracy was behind the bid to remove him. So yeah, Sam, what happened? Maybe just a quick overview. So they had a parliamentary vote or something?
Yeah, I mean, that's in my view, and I haven't watched Medhurst's full coverage. This is an extremely simplistic way of putting it. Imran Khan was facing a vote of no confidence in the Pakistani parliament, and he was almost certainly was going to lose it because there were a number of people from his own party, Tahrik al-Insaf, which is like the party for justice. He by the way, he should be viewed in the same vein as Duterte, Bolsonaro, Trump, not that in a fascist sense, but in a way that he was an outside celebrity kind of. He was a famous cricketer in UK. He was a playboy, all that. And then he in early 2000s, I think, or something, he finds Islam again. He's a born again Muslim. He finds Islam again. He moves to Pakistan and, all that. So he should be viewed in that way. And he positioned himself against the two main parties in Pakistan. So they were going to have a vote of no confidence against him. He came out, gave a televised speech, and he said that he has asked for the president to dissolve the parliament because he believes there was a plan by the pro-US factions within the parliament that basically were going to outset him, but it was a coup. The reason was that he was friendly to China and Russia, but not so friendly to the US. So that's true that he's been a big critic of the US sort of drone attack because a lot of it has been happening in Pakistan. I believe he banned some of the activities of US like after he came to power. But I mean, is this I don't know. There's no evidence. He gave this televised speech, which was almost fantastical, like in a sense that he was like, it was so funny, but because he's like anybody who reaches that level of politics is
Mhm.
very much full of himself, and he starts with basically saying that, I'm fucking awesome. These guys in the parliament, they're all fucking losers. You all know I'm rich. I used to be rich. I used to have fucking girlfriends. Do you want to see the pictures of my girlfriends? One of them was a model. Fuck you. I dated her. Like, I don't need this shit. I don't need to do this job. I'm not corrupt. He did a very Modi does the same in India, actually. That Modi is like, I'm not married, so I can't be corrupt. No children. So he did that thing that because in Pakistan politics is viewed as a way to gain fame and riches, and by the way, definitely he is definitely like the two Muslim League and the other party in Pakistan. They're like awful, like the level of, I mean, he does in some parts. He also, in a very sly way, if anybody knows Pakistani history, he like throws shades at Nawaz Sharif and other politicians that were previously in charge in Pakistan. So, but he's been like, he promised to come into power, as with many of these style politicians, to fight corruption and stand against the establishment. And he's acted, I don't know, it's weird. He's been weird. He's publicly far more, it's kind of like Trump again. He's very publicly more confrontational with the military. Then again, in the end, he's done the same usual shit they do. He's very pro-Taliban, and I don't consider that a good thing. I don't see why, like, just because you hate, and I hate the American intervention in Afghanistan. I think it was overall bad. But Taliban, they're awful. Like, I don't see that much difference between Taliban and a Taliban member and a Nazi, frankly. So, I mean, I'm not talking about the very, young, poor children that are, co-opted when they're forced, whatever. So I don't like, he's very pro-Taliban, although I would say his attitude towards Taliban internationally makes sense. Like, who else can you work with at the moment? While I do think Taliban are crazy and Nazi-like, what can you do at this point? Like, who isn't, by the way, these days? Like, just everywhere you go, it's a fucking, bigoted nationalist popping up. So who knows? Maybe he's right. Maybe it was but then again, to characterize it as a coup, I don't know. Like, if Americans pay politicians in Pakistan, which they have been doing since Pakistan was pretty much invented, is that a coup? Is that?
But why are you saying the coup thing?
You know what? Like, because they probably, I mean, I don't know. I haven't, there hasn't been any evidence or anything, but they didn't do a coup. Is usually military or, like by force. But if they pay off your parliament, basically, they buy off your parliament, which that's like during the height of Iranian problems with imperialism. That's what happened in Iran or in China.
No, but sorry, but I said coup because Imran Khan is saying that, the US tried to orchestrate a coup.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I don't know if it's a coup, if it's not.
But so now, pretty much, he survived that whole vote. He
didn't.
He didn't.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. He asked the president to dissolve the parliament, and the president did dissolve the parliament. But then the opposition party has sort of gone to court against him and saying that this is illegal, and they're basically
okay. So the vote hasn't taken place.
No, there's going to be an election within 90 days. I think.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, so serious.
I mean, there must be. I mean, this is Pakistan. There could be a coup d'etat any moment, and somebody like Parvez Musharraf comes back. And
I see. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing something informative and smart after the last few comments I made.
After New Zealand's neighborhood with Australia was
yeah.
No, but Imran Khan fascinates me. Pakistani politics, to an extent, fascinates me. Pakistan is a country, in my view, not that different from Kuwait and all that, in the sense that it's a very invented nation. There is not much. Uh, it's a nation in the progress of being a nation. Really, it's you know, it's a product of post-colonial war. It's not a real historical thing. So it fascinates me, especially because like it's so funny. Islamic Republic and the founders of Islamic Republic Revolution are far more, and currently there's to an extent are far more popular among Pakistani population than they are in the Iranian population. And that Imran Khan's influence in his politics is one of his biggest influences. Ali Shariati, who in my view is one of the worst Iranian writers. Like he's a reactionary mixed with mysticism, mixed with everything that is terrible about Iranian mode of thinking or thought or whatever. And that's his Imran Khan's sort of Ali Shariati, I don't know, like his whole philosophy is the idea that every day he mixes Marxist sort of philosophy with a type of Islam, sort of Shia Islam that emphasizes a struggle, and every day is a struggle. Like, you know, Ashura, the ceremony where Imam Hussein and all that, he has a famous phrase that every day is Ashura, everywhere is Karbala, as in everywhere is every day, everything, like you're always in a struggle against evil and all that. And it's pathetic. It's in a way, it's really funny. I think in a way it's Orientalist. Like it's so funny. Like the best and the weirdest works of Orientalism are done by the people from the Orient. So it's funny, but yeah. So I find Imran Khan and all that fascinating, and but I'm not a big fan. Frankly, I don't. He's very much. I don't think his politics are that much deep. He's a very shallow man who I think he reminds me of so much of a boomers in America, in a sense that, you know, he was in 60s, he was a hippie. Like when he's young, he's this playboy, you know, cool guy, true. And then he gets older, he becomes this he found religion again, conservative, reactionary, basically.
That is very true.
Although he's probably within Pakistani politics right now, I can't think of, he's much better than the two other parties. So, but yeah, we are in a very bad place.
I see. Okay, well, thank you for that. I didn't even give you a heads up, so that was really good. I can see. So you're doing your homework, preparing yourself for Friday.
On Pakistan. yeah. Imran Khan is fun. I like that. Good. I mean, you must admit, he is a good-looking. I mean, he's got that sort of a face that it's like his pimple. He popped his pimples or something, but he's a good-looking man. He's got some level of charisma, and I find listening to Pakistani language, because Pakistani language is a very close. I don't know. It's kind of like, I think, the relation between Dutch and Afrikaans. It's like it's similar. You kind of understand, but you don't. So it's fascinating, kind of listening to it.
I see. Okay, nice stuff. You definitely redeemed us after a few questionable comments that I've made today during this show. But okay,
and credibility is back up.
But hopefully I won't do any damage with this next tweet. But just to wrap it up. Is it
about geography?
No, wrapping it up with a stupid one, but this was done on purpose. And someone wrote, "What are we cooking? #vegan food." Okay, so I just wanted to say, as a vegan, you don't have to eat like this if you're vegan. For some reason, this picture, the carrots look like they're going to turn out into some nice, interesting carrots, but you definitely don't have to eat just like some, I don't know what's going on. The
onion is skin.
It's, I'm not too sure what this person is doing.
And then there's a little just garlic, and again, you need to you don't.
So either this person's like really high level chef, you know, it's like, okay, the key is to put the onion next to it with the skin, or it's a parody. I don't think so, because this is like a real vegan person, I think they post. Or my real message is this: you don't necessarily have to eat like this if you're a vegan. If you come across one of these pictures on Twitter, although these carrots look good and bad, I don't know.
The carrots look great. I must say, like I never understood though. If you do go vegan though, I don't understand these people who go out of their way to buy soy shit and what is the other one that they make?
Like fake
Stuff.
meat products and stuff.
Yeah, like okay, if
Tofu?
you're vegan, don't just tofu.
Yeah.
That's shit. Yeah, that's disgusting.
No, well, if you know how to make it, I mean, I'll give you a reason why.
No,
so,
man,
so let's say
wait,
if
wait,
you
just-
if okay,
in
go ahead.
Iran, for example, we have a stew dishes that there is meats in there, right? And then they go and find tofu or some shit and replace the meat with that. Just don't have the meat in there. The stew still doesn't work.
Yeah.
Does work, you know? So I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Listen, in one sense, you're 100% right. Some of these things you can just remove the meat. You don't even need to replace it with anything. There's already a lot of things in it. But some people, let's say if you go vegan because different animal products bother you, right? So you don't want to eat those, but then you want to eat something else. So that's why you would have it. And I guess also if you don't want to like take part in animal suffering in that sense, you would want to replace it with maybe some other alternative kind of meat. So those are just kind of like two reasons as why someone would do that.
No, but animal, that's a reason for veganism. Why do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they're processed food, and they're because you just have to like think humanely. So these things are like in the sense of like putting yourself in the shoes of a human, in the sense that like humans want, delicious, greasy, processed stuff a lot of times. And if you eat healthy vegan, you don't get any of those. So I mean, it comes down to that at the end of the day. Like maybe one of my meals,
okay, fair enough.
Every few days kind of has that because you want to eat something processed and not necessarily healthy. But I mean, you're definitely like putting like, and sometimes it's unnecessary. And then like, why would you even put the tofu thing? Just remove it. But there are all kinds of confusions when people try different stuff.
I like falafels, that's fine. But tofu, I've never had a good one. So maybe it's just the case of me not having a good one.
Tofu is kind of like chicken, I would say. Meaning that it's bland and it has no taste. It has nothing. It's all about the seasoning. So the right kind of consistency. I remember that. So if you have the right kind of consistency and you season it well, tofu can be decent. But I agree with you there.
All right. I just have barley soup. Fuck off.
Again, I agree. Having said that, I haven't listened to one word you just said.
But
all right, Sam, that was it. So
I wish I could become vegan or vegetarian. It's hard.
You can. I would say it's quite easy, but to each their own.
After 2 days of not having meat, I'm like, this is nonsense. I mean, it's so weird because at the same time you don't want to have fucking carbohydrates because you get fat. So you can't have
that's
meat
a myth too. That's like you're entering myth.
No, man,
territory.
That's not myth.
Yeah,
no. That's 100%.
No, I'm telling you.
100%. No, man.
So fruits make you
Friday. Fat. Fruits make depending on how much you eat.
So it all comes down. Down to that.
No. When I say carbohydrate, I mean rice.
Potatoes, but rice doesn't. Bread. They don't. Like 100 calories of rice or 100 calories of potatoes doesn't have like some fat making superpowers that 100 calories of something else doesn't.
Sure, but you can. What? Okay, who said? I didn't say anything
because
about that.
Because that's what you're saying.
But do you know what? When you're talking about 100 calories of rice, do you know how much rice you're talking about? Like a spoon of rice.
No.
Like that.
No.
No. Yes.
No, that's not true. I'm not 500 calories of rice is a big plate of rice.
I can't have this much rice on my plate.
That's like 50. That's like 50. And the reason why that much would be more is because you drench it in oil, and oil is fat. So then the blame comes.
Oil
from there.
Is fine. No, oil is actually anyway. I feel like you haven't kept up with the latest literature dieting.
No, I haven't. To be completely honest, I haven't looked into
me neither
diet or food stuff in a very long time. But I feel like you fell into a few into a few
I've been
myths and
watching a
traps
lot
there.
of Joe Rogan videos. Okay, so I'm not gonna hear anything good about. But to be honest, it is like literally the only good thing you can eat is basically without suffering anyone. Is basically like bell peppers.
No,
So like
you
that I
can
can't
eat.
live on bell peppers.
You can eat all fruits and vegetables and legumes and all of them without causing suffering. Why did you only pick bell peppers?
Legumes. Yeah, you're right.
You
No,
can eat
bell peppers
everything.
because
But
for
that's
me
the
it's mainly
first thing.
bell
That is
peppers and
funny though. When
mushrooms.
people go vegan, they're like, those are like the few items of food that like this is the first thing they think of for some reason. I don't know,
Bell
because
peppers,
yeah,
it's man, you add it to anything, the smell, it makes it so much
yeah.
better. But I'm sorry, but what, like, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I'm not a big. It's just cooking them is so hard, peas and all that.
I don't know. I buy canned peas and stuff,
Oh,
and then
do
I
you know
cook them though. Yeah, I don't cook them from scratch.
you like fava beans?
Yeah, they're pretty good. The big beans.
Yeah, did you used to have them in Iran where they sell them on the streets?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've had that with you actually.
Yeah, that's oh man, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
good.
pretty good. But okay, all right. Let's wrap this up. So sorry for my stupidity, but that's why there are two of us. So you know, when one of us says something stupid, there's always the other one to jump right in and correct them. So with that out of the way, please leave your comments, question, criticism down below. We'll make sure to get to them. And if not, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.